What's up, YouTube? Back at you with another video. We're here with the highly anticipated Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia press conference. I've been waiting for this fight for a while, so has every other boxing fan pretty much. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I'm Brian Custer, the host of Showtime Championship Boxing. Thank you. I know y'all been waiting. But I'm here to tell you the time has come. Time has come for one of the biggest fights of 2023.
That's a fact.
This will be a clash of two young stars in their prime, stepping over the promotional, the broadcast barriers to give fight fans what they want. This young man to my left, to your right, Ryan Garcia. Blistering hand speed. One of the most deadly left hooks in the sport of boxing.
Garcia look worried.
He's unbeaten. He's 23-0. He's got 19.
Yo, can they steady
knockouts.
That camera, bro? Damn.
You know, last time we saw him,
I know he was talking shit.
I also added to that name in boxing. Y'all heard those names. But I have one that y'all need y'all to put in your back pocket for the future, because this is a fight that starts a lot of big other fights, become contagious. Here's that other name that y'all gonna have to call me from now on until I die.
What?
The biggest instigator in boxing. Yeah, I'm gonna instigate a lot of stuff to make things at least get talked about and put pressure, no matter where you from, where house you live in. That means promoters.
What does this mean to me?
Everybody
all right.
had any.
Yeah. Let's get to the conflict now.
from Baltimore, Gervonta.
What the fuck is he wearing?
What
the fuck is
Come
that?
to the podium now.
And what's with the briefcase?
Again.
He hears about a pay-per-view is happening and taking place. You know, there's some boxing insiders.
I heard Oscar De La Hoya is gonna be in the Cocaine Bear sequel. That fucking movie about the grizzly bear that's on cocaine or some shit. I know Oscar De La Hoya gonna be in it.
Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. By far the biggest fight in the entire sport.
Oh my gosh.
I recall
King Ryan himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Garcia.
Thank you guys for coming today. Sorry for the wait, but we're here now. Thank you. I want to thank Golden Boy Promotions, obviously GTD Promotions, Showtime, DAZN. We really came together and really conquered the poison that's been stopping boxing from having the biggest fights. We wanted for a very long time, and because
I don't know why.
For me to be a champion.
You know, he reminds me of Michelle Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Like, people hyped up Michelle Rivera like a lot because people think he looked like Muhammad Ali and all that shit. He was undefeated. He was a hype job. And then he got next to Frank Martin, and what happened? He got beat. So I think I'm going to say my thoughts for after. I'm going to say my thoughts for after.
You have to beat the best. It's not about the titles. It's not about, you know, like I said, the titles is about who you beat. And for me, it's a testimony to the respect I got for him as a fighter. During this whole journey, I definitely put boxing first and the fans first, because I had to accept a lot of stipulations. They know it. You know, going down in weight, rehydration clause. I don't want to bring up too much, but those are the little things that I said to myself, you know what, if I put myself first, I should say no. But my heart don't let me. I got the character of a champion, and my power comes from within and from above. No matter what weight I'm down to, no matter what I have to do, my strength comes from here. I don't look like I hit hard, but I do hit hard. The punches, they just come quick, but when they hit you, you're just down. So I want to also, almost forgot, I want to thank Jesus Christ. Thank you so much. Glorious moment, I want to give it to Jesus. Thank you.
Oh,
above all. April 22nd, all right. This is the time where...
Okay, yeah.
Back at it. This time we got another dance partner. You know what I mean? Coming up, I watch Floyd and, you know what I mean, Oscar. Also,
fuck is up with his earrings?
Bernard Hopkins. I feel as though that, you know what I mean, this is what we came to do. You know what I mean? I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I fought a lot coming up. So I'm just happy to be a part of this moment, sharing the ring with a young fighter like Ryan Garcia, that's willing to dare himself to be great. Joe Goosen, you know what I mean? And I think it's important because both of us young. You know what I mean? I'm a little older than Ryan, but you know what I mean? I think that both of us at our peak. You know what I mean? A lot of young fighters don't fight each other, and I feel as though this is a stepping stone for, you know, the other younger fighters to get in the ring with each other. So I feel as though that, you know what I mean? We both made our name coming up. You know what I mean? The time is now. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, but like this dude, Tank, he's just like, I can't even listen to this guy talk, bro.
Boxing has been longing for this. This is.
Alright, yeah. So basically, they're saying all the usual shit that boxers say in their press conferences. This shit is boring. I thought, I was on Twitter, people was making it seem like this shit was fireworks. They didn't say shit. Nothing happened. I think I'm just gonna skip to the face-off, I guess, because they're not talking a lot of trash. I thought that they were gonna be talking shit. What the fuck is this? Yeah, see, Ryan Garcia looks like he's just doing the most. And I think he's hyping himself up to kind of convince himself that, you know, he about to do something. Alright. So anyway, alright, so here are my thoughts. Now, I don't like Tank Davis, and I don't like Ryan Garcia. I don't like them outside of the ring. Everything that encompasses who they are inside the ring, I respect. But those two as, like, individuals, I don't like either of them, and that's why, frankly, I can't even stand to hear them talk. Honestly, I think Ryan Garcia, he's corny, and Tank Davis, I think he's corny too, or rather, like the whole Charlo brothers thing that happened a few years ago kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because if you're not familiar or you don't remember, what happened was Tank Davis and Adrian Broner, they basically were alleging that the Charlo brothers were on cocaine. Now my thing is this: if you're going to start something with people, then be prepared for the fact that they about to finish it. You know what I'm saying? I think they were talking shit, and then, you know, Tank was trying to front like he didn't know why they was bugging out on him, when it's like, bro, you were talking shit. Like, they have like a fight camp, training camp video where they both said some shit. They said something slick about the Charlos. But anyway, so I don't like either of them, but I know that this fight is good for the sport of boxing. Tank and Ryan Garcia are the most casual friendly fighters in the sport right now. Over the years, the only fighters that people come up to me and try to make conversation with me about is Deontay Wilder, Tank Davis, and Ryan Garcia. Casuals they don't know anybody else. They don't know Terrence Crawford. They don't know Errol Spence. They don't know shit about the Charlos. They don't know, you know, Tony Harrison, Jarrett Hurd. They don't know anybody. All they know is the social media boxers, and that's fine. I mean, hey, anything to help the sport of boxing, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so a while ago, I think when Tank had the whole domestic violence, you know what I'm saying, shit that he had going on, which kind of made me dislike him even more, because what's funny is that around that time, I was telling one of my friends that, you know, Tank Davis is like a domestic abuser, and then literally a week after that, he got into some shit. I had DM'd Ryan Garcia, and I told him, I said, you know, I don't like you. I don't like you, but, you know, beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny, Ryan Garcia actually seen it. So, you know, ironically enough. So, I have Tank winning this fight. Now, the reason why I have Tank winning the fight is because I think that he's got that stopping power. Because we've seen Ryan Garcia get hurt before. I think in maybe one or two of his fights, we've seen him get dropped, and then I've seen him get stunned before. So there are two instances where, you know, we saw some chinks in his armor as far as like his chin is concerned. And if Tank can make I don't want to say quick work, but if Tank did what he did to, Rolly Romero, and Rolly is, I'm not sure if he's taller, but I know size-wise, he's a lot bigger than Ryan Garcia, or at least he's a lot more muscular. I can see him doing the same thing to Ryan. I mean, I don't think Ryan, can really put, like, all Ryan can really do in this fight, honestly, and I don't want to say outbox, because Ryan Garcia is not really, an outboxer, but he can really only hope to beat Tank going the distance, because I don't see Ryan hurting Tank to the point where, Tank is going to go down. I don't think so. I mean, Ryan Garcia has a great left hook. I think that's one of, the punches that he's known for, but I don't really see him hurting, Tank like that. Obviously, I think this fight has the potential to go the distance, but I would not be surprised at all if there was like a mid or late stoppage, from Tank, because, like I said, love him or hate him, Tank Davis, again, he's one of the elite fighters in boxing right now. So it's like when you talk about, modern boxing today, you got to talk about this guy. And there's not a lot of fighters that I think can really present a challenge to Tank outside of, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Frank Martin. So Ryan Garcia is the first in line, but stylistically, I don't see Ryan really presenting a challenge, because he could just, what he really has going for himself is speed, height, and reach. Because even in the face-off, it's like, how short do you have to be that much shorter than Ryan Garcia? Because he makes Ryan Garcia look tall. So if I was Ryan, really just use your distance and kind of engage in spurts. Not close range, but put combinations together. That is the main thing that Ryan Garcia needs to do. Use footwork and put combinations together, and kind of, don't allow Tank to counter him with a good shot that can put him away, because that's the thing with Tank. Tank can hit you with that one good shot that'll put your ass away. So his game plan needs to include staying out of Tank's range. So use the fact that he's that much shorter than you against him, in a way that other fighters that have been taller than him, weren't able to do. He should do that, because I think, from what I remember, and I've only seen the fight once, but what Rolly did wrong was he got too close to Tank, and he tried to trade with him, and Tank put his ass away. So that's, what I would say if I was working Ryan Garcia's corner is, again, use your height, use your speed, and try to, what's funny, which is probably impossible, but I would try to capitalize on not only Tank's weaknesses, but also his strengths. So look at everything that he does well, and then try to figure out how you can implement that into your own game plan. So that way, Tank will be like, oh shit, he's doing what I do, and throw him off. Because that's the thing. You want to make Tank uncomfortable, and you want to throw him off. And I highly implore Ryan to do not try to outdog Tank Davis, because it's not going to happen. Again, the only fighter that I think could really give Tank a run for his money, Devin Haney, I think it's 50-50. But today, I would give maybe like the slight edge to Shakur Stevenson, because Shakur just has a style that, it's not really an offensive style, but it's a defensive style that creates offensive opportunities. You get what I'm saying? And he wears you down, and he's also a southpaw. See, because Ryan Garcia is a freaking, he's a right-hander. He's an orthodox fighter, so he also has to be mindful of not walking into Tank's left hand. Tank has the tools. I think Tank really can just do what he's always done, and I think he could just, find his way, to get the dub. I mean, this might be the biggest fight of his career, but I don't think it's the toughest fight of his career. Now, granted, I haven't seen, all of Tank's fights, but for the ones that I have seen, I just don't think Ryan is really presenting anything, new that Tank hasn't already seen already, in his whole entire life of being a boxer, from the amateurs to the pros. What is Ryan really presenting that is new? So what Ryan has to do, because I'm rooting for him, but I have him losing. I'm rooting for him. What Ryan has to do, his game plan has to be on point. Because if, let's say, Ryan were to walk away with the dub, bruh, like he would instantly be like the most pop. Well, I mean, he already is, you know, the most popular, you know, one of the most popular fighters in boxing. But literally after that, if he beats Tank Davis, his stock is gonna go through the roof, and it's not going to be just, oh, Ryan Garcia is a social media boxer. No, people will actually start to give Ryan Garcia his credit and his just due, and then that's gonna create again the lane for him to fight Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, maybe even Frank Martin. I could see him fighting Frank Martin. Probably not Shakur and Devin, but I could see him fighting Frank Martin after this. Let's say if he were to win, because Frank is similar height and, you know, I won't say similar style, but he, again, like build wise and maybe some of the skill sets, because they're both boxer punchers. He, you know, would, you know, be a follow-up fight after this. So yeah, so Ryan, he's got to have a good game plan. If his game plan is not on point, or if there's any flaws, I see Tank taking this fight. But I don't like either of them. So, you know, whoever wins, I don't really care. But Ryan, I'm rooting for you. Tank, you know, I'm already predicting, you know, a knockout, or at least probably a decisive, you know, decision victory. You know, Ryan could come in and then he could just, you know, surprise people. You know, it just depends. But I think this is an exciting fight for the sport. It's going to bring a lot of people, you know, into it. It's going to just, you know, again, boost the sport up, because boxing right now needs these fights to happen. And I will say that we're in a time now where a lot of the top fighters are not fighting each other. So Ryan and Tank making this fight happen, I hope that it's going to set the trend for other fighters to follow suit, because you got to keep in mind, and history has shown, fighters, y'all don't have all the time in the world to be making these big top tier fights that you think that you want to make. People say, let it marinate. Nah, because Jermell Charlo and Jarrett Hurd was built up. What happened? Freaking Jermell lost, Jarrett Hurd lost. Nobody cares for that fight anymore. And in fact, I think Jarrett Hurd fought last Saturday, and I heard that, you know, a chunk of his upper lip is missing after that. Like, he's done, and he's just taking nonstop L's. So that's what happens. If you're on the top now, if you're at the top, if you're at your peak, make the fights happen right now. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets, either before somebody loses or it expires. Freaking Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, that was a huge fight, or that would have been a huge fight. And what happened? They both lost. No one cares about that fight anymore. If that fight doesn't happen, no one is going to lose any sleep over it. Spence Crawford, they really have until this year is up to make the fight happen, because no one wants to wait until 2024, you know, to see that damn fight. So shout out to, again, Ryan and Tank for actually making this fight happen, because, yo, people have been calling for it. They made that shit happen. They fight on 2 different networks and made that shit happen. So as far as all the other boxers that, you know, have, you know, these potential fights that they can make with, you know, the other top elite guy, make them now and learn, you know, from these guys. But anyway, so those are my thoughts. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Good luck.